Pembajikan di Selangor telah ditubuhkan pada tahun 1972 dan bertanggungjawab secara menyeluruh untuk membangun
Assalamualaikum, my name is Shahrizon. The news that we're going to present is about Auditor General Report finds improper payments by Selangor Sports Council amounting to 1.95 million. The news issued recently on 15 March 2022. The Selangor State Sports Council made improper payments according to the Auditor Report General on the financial statement of the state government and state agencies and the compliance audit of Selangor State. Auditor General Datuk Sri Nik Azman Nik Abdul Majid said that the report which was presented to the Selangor State Assembly today showed that improper payments totaling 1.95 million were made to people who were not eligible. The amount of the payments was 500,000 ringgit in 2020 and 1.4 million ringgit in 2021. The audit of the Petaling Jaya District and Land Office's collection of quit rent on agricultural land found that 404,917 ringgit in taxes were not collected for 8 agricultural lots in the Mukmim sub-district category. The mistake in setting the tax rate also led to an extra 36,248 being taken from 7 properties in 2020. The heads of the departments or agencies involved were told about the things reported to LKAN in advance so they could check them out. Closing meetings were also held to talk about the audit results, ask for clarification and get feedback on problems that came up. The audit also found that the state government finances were stable at the end of 2020. The consolidated fund had a balance of RM 2.445 billion, up from RM 2.141 billion at the end of 2019. Also said that the balance of public debt went down by RM 5.61 million or 0.5% from RM 1.110 billion in 2019 to RM 1.105 billion in 2020.
Hello and good day everyone. My name is Keldon. Now I will talk about the issue on the article, which is the Auditor General's report finds on the improper payments by the Selangor Sports Council amounting 1.95 million ringgit. So from this article, we know that there are improper payments made by the Selangor State Sports Council as reported by the General Auditor, which is Datuk Sri Nik Asman Nik Abdul Majid. It is revealed that there were improper payments which amount about 1.95 million ringgit that were believed to be used with ineligible recipients. They stated that in 2020 500,000 ringgit was used in the improper payments with the follow-up of 1.4 million ringgit back in 2019. Besides these improper payments, there is also the shortage of tax collection, which amount of 404,978 ringgit in the agricultural land for 8 agriculture lots. With this mistake also, there were 7 properties that were also involved in the shortage of tax collection in 2020, which amount about 36,248 ringgit. So from all these concerns, the General Auditor has given 7 recommendations to all departments involved in this in order to abolish the weaknesses. So from this article, as a group we have discussed and we believe that the party responsible have used the money given to them to improve the areas in the department for their own personal gain. So as they received this huge amount of money, they began to forget about their responsibilities in the department, because this large amount of money can make people change their mind, their thinking, and let the greed overpower them. So this is why the improper payment have the apostrophe, because the general auditor believes that the party involved was using the money for their personal use and not using it to improve any areas in their department. So that is all for me. Thank you.
So let's move forward to theory related to newspaper cutting. So these outcomes can be found at Chapter 2, Economic Basis of Government Activity. These issues are related to externalities, and externality refers to the uncompensated impact of one person's action on the well-being of a bystander. So externality means an activity of one entity that affects the welfare of another entity in a way that is outside the market mechanism. So there is only so much money to go around, and sport associations that consistently underperform should not keep receiving allocation from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. By establishing KPI that address development issues, the ministry could devise the creation of large developmental programs, and by making annual allocation dependent on achieving this developmental KPI, the sport infrastructure in Malaysia will grow and improve. But the party responsible have used the money given to improve different areas of their departments for their own personal gain. So this is kind of externalities. Currently and unofficially, it seems that performance is tied solely to results in national or international competition. This has no direct effect at the developmental level. The ministry must establish some way to measure developmental progress in line with proper long-term athlete development principles. Performance of the various sports associations is closely tied to governance and the way associations sees its role in national development. This brings us to the third and the most pressing issue in Malaysian sport development.
The improper payments that were made by the Selangor State Sports Council was amounted RM 1.95 million, which is a very high amount, and it was made to ineligible recipients. As for the impact of this issue, it can slow down the developing of our country. The improper payments that were made is very unnecessary, as the fund can be useful to other important issue. The culture of improper payments to ineligible recipients must be avoided, as it can slow down the developing of our country. For example, the amount of improper payments can be channeled to other important things such as the improvement of sports facilities and more. However, it was wasted, as the Selangor State Sports Council have made improper payments and neglect other important things. Secondly, the impact of this issue is there will be increase in corruption. The improper payments that were made by Selangor Sports Council is a proof that many government bodies has misused the fund given. The weakness of the government bodies in facing corruption will open chances to corruptors and will lead to increasing of corruption in the country. Lastly, the impact of this issue will be the government's image will be tarnished. It is because the weakness of the government to handle corruption. The issue has shown that the culture of corruption cannot be controlled by government. This unethical act will be the main reason for the tarnish of the government's image. Thus, the government will not get the support of the people if there is no integrity in the government's bodies.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Eman Minajim. I will talk about suggestion. The first suggestion is that the mechanism that has been developed to prevent corruption in government department and agency need to be tested to see if it can be implemented effectively and able to reduce the number of corruption cases. Like the ministry department in Selangor need to be strict when it comes to tax collection so that no mistake are made during and after tax collection. The audit carried out on the collection of agricultural land tax at the Petaling Jaya district and land office found a collection shortfall of RM 404,978 for agricultural lot. Apart from that, the department and sector involved in carry out certain program and activity need to be identified and not carry out corrupt activity. Next is that a study need to be done independently to determine whether the existence of comprehensive framework to combat abuse of power in public department and the public sector is able to stop or reduce abuse of power or misconduct in the government sector. By using all department and sector involved in activity or even program that MED must follow the correct framework according to the budget and the discussion that was agreed in the meeting of the sport department at Selangor. Lastly, the government should play an important role in creating awareness among the workforce to refrain from committing corruption or wrongdoing, especially in the field of procurement through the integrity unit established at the ministry level. In the case of financial management of state governments and state agency as well as departmental compliance audit or Selangor State Agency for the year 2020, many management area need to be overhauled and need to be provided to officer involved in the procurement of Selangor State Department or agency. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Muhammad Hazmi bin Halivan. So for the conclusion, the Selangor Sports Council plays an important role in ensuring the budget and the usage of it are in a good plan in managing any issue or problems related to sports maintenance or reparation. Other than that, the superiors must be honest and responsible enough to handle any problems that occur without issues such as money embezzlement and using any compensation for personal use. With that, the superior should be chosen based on their attitude and background records should also be excellent. For instance, this is as written in the article that the Auditor General Datuk Seri Nik Abdul Majid said that there are improper payments amount 1.95 million ringgit Malaysia were made to ineligible recipients. By that, we know that the superior is not being honest and there is a misappropriation of money that occurs which causing issues such as the budget given for allocation and compensation does not produce the same improvement or development in the Selangor sports facility and management. Besides, the public will lose their trust to the higher management in managing any issues related to sports facilities development due to its slow progressions. For what happened from the issue related, there are suggestions to avoid the incident from occurring easily, such as the Selangor's Ministry Department need to be strict and disciplined in collecting tax and after-tax collection. Then, the government also play a part to ensure the public institutions or organizations from committing any wrongdoing and corruption in the facility management. Correlated to that issue, the government must spread awareness such as law enforcement and giving strict punishment to the person that commit any embezzlement crime. Therefore, any development or improvement related to any aspect of management will be determined by the higher up or superior because they are always have issues or problems that occur. With power, there are also great responsibilities. That being said, the higher ups should execute their responsibilities with full integrity as they are the core to management development. That's all from us. Thank you.